Okay, in this very brief lecture, I wanted to explain the parameters of the essential question assignments and how to use APA formatting in this class. Neither are a big deal, but they are worth talking about for a few minutes. So basically, you have 5 essential questions, and you can go and look at all 5 of them right now. But you'll see they're not difficult questions to answer, but they do ask you to take a stance on a particular issue that we've been talking about in class, and that relates to the readings. And so I'm not grading you on whether you are right or wrong, but how you support that stance that you take. And so this is the rubric that I'm going to use. And if you look at the elements, what I'm looking for are a clear thesis. And by the way, this rubric is in the first content session folder, so if you want to look at it, it's there for you to look at. Okay, so I'm looking for a clear thesis. Obviously, that should be in your introduction. Then I'm looking for a well-developed argument respecting important themes that we've been talking about in class. So do you focus on one thing or do you focus on a variety of topics to support your thesis? Now this is the one that most folks get tripped up on. Adequate or accurate use of evidence, balance between readings and class discussions. You have to cite the readings. Okay, if you cite your own personal experience, that's fine, but you also need a broader perspective based on research or other people's writing to support what you're saying. So in every essential question, what I'm looking for is a reference back to something you've read. And then I need a conclusion that pulls it all together. And then the last 2 points are stylistic. Is there good paragraph structure? Are there transitions? Is it well written? Is it free of grammatical and spelling errors? And remember, your word count is limited to 500 words. So you only have a short space in which to make this argument. Okay, so what I'm looking for is a concise argument, I'm looking for it well supported, and I'm looking for it to be well written within 500 words. So the hardest part, I think, and most people find, is keeping it to that 500 word limit. Now, when you reference these articles or these readings, which I'm asking you to do in the essential question, and you might also do in your philosophy, you have to reference things APA style. So what does APA mean? So I've got this brief PowerPoint that gives you some examples of what that means. There's a link to Purdue's website, Purdue OWL. They have a really great explanation of what APA looks like, but just to boil it down and condense it a little bit, that means everything you turn into me should be double spaced. Everything should be in 12-point font Times New Roman. There should be 1-inch margins on all sides. You should have the title of your paper in the top left corner, page numbers on the top right. That should go in the header. You want a title page with the title of your paper, your name, and the name of our course. Though for the essential questions, don't worry so much about a title page. And this sometimes confuses people. APA asks for abstracts. I don't need an abstract in anything you're going to turn into me, so don't worry about an abstract. Now, if you're going to cite something in APA, okay, if you're going to directly quote somebody, okay, here's how you might do it. As Rory, 2009, the year, argues, and then the quote from the book, then parentheses, page number, period. Okay, so you have to have the name of the author, you have to have the year, you have to have the page number if you're going to do a direct citation. That's how you do it in APA. You could have put 2009, comma, page 3 here if you wanted to leave that out. That's a stylistic choice. However, in the essential questions, you only have 500 words to make your argument. And as much as I like direct citations, I want to hear you more than other authors. So what you might think about doing is paraphrasing to save space and then referencing. So here's how you would do that. So here's the same concept from page 3 of Rory's book, but put in an indirect citation. Though it would seem we live in a fast-changing world, during industrialization things were changing even faster. Okay, which sums up what Rory was saying here, okay, but puts it in your own words. You still give Rory credit, Rory, 2009. So, in your essential questions, because you only have 500 words, I would strongly, strongly, strongly recommend you always do indirect citations like you see here. Finally, at the end, you've got to lay out all the citations that you cite, or the sources that you cite, excuse me. So you should have a reference list. It should have the sources listed in alphabetical order according to the author's last name. Indent the second line of every source. Here's 2 examples. Okay, Baines, comma, L, ampersand, Foster, comma, H, period, 2006, period. The title, A School for the Common Good, period. The journal, Education Horizons, is italicized, comma, the volume number, still italicized, in parentheses, the issue number, comma, the page numbers, and period. If you're doing a book, Ravitch, comma, D, 2010, period. The Death and Life of the Great American School System. Notice in titles of articles or books, only the first letter and proper nouns are capitalized. Then you do a colon, and then everything after the colon, the first word after the colon is again capitalized, period. Then the place it was published, and the publisher. Now, here's the thing. This stuff, if you're citing works from our course that we've read, you don't actually have to worry about, okay, how do I find the year that Ravitch's book was published in? In the syllabus, where I've listed the books and the readings for this course, you can just cut and paste directly from that. That has every citation in APA. So work smarter, not harder, right? Just go ahead and cut and paste right from the syllabus into your papers, those readings. So, told you to be quick. That's the essential questions. That's the APA.